I'm Dub. I'm joined now by Fred McRae of Fred Fest. How's it going this morning, Fred?
It's going awesome today, Dub.
Hey, thanks so much for being here. Now, Fred Fest was this past weekend. It was the second big edition of it, but sort of also the third edition when we really look back.
Exactly.
How did it go, first of all, from what you saw and
To
heard?
tell you the truth, it went awesome.
Awesome.
Fred Fest this year, I mean, it filled all expectations that I had for next year. So, so it was awesome. I mean, the musicians were unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the crowd was incredible. I mean, the turnout was unbelievable. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, it seemed like the weather was pretty darn good for it too, which was which helped things along, eh?
No doubt. I mean, you couldn't have handpicked any better weather. But I do have a few people that I want to thank, and I want to apologize right off the top for the people that I miss, because I'm sure I'm going to do that. But Michelle Jeffers, I mean, Fred Fest wouldn't happen without Michelle, and my wife Tammy and my boys. I mean, if they weren't all into it, Fred Fest wouldn't happen. My sister Barb came up from Grand Prairie, and my niece Ursula and her family came up from Grand Prairie. Did a fantastic job of running the merch tent and helped with the parking and so on and so on. They worked like slaves all weekend, so I certainly appreciate that. And Doug Petrie, he can't even spell chauffeur, but now he is one, because he took on the job to be taxied the Nice Horse Band around for the weekend. So thank you, Doug. And Clint Giesbrecht, he did a fantastic job again, emceeing the whole event, kept it all on time and up and running. And out of the woodwork Saturday, when we really needed some help with the parking, Garth and Pam Murray just walked up and said, "It looks like you need help." And thank you, Garth and Pam. Awesome. And probably the biggest compliment we had at Fred Fest all weekend was a couple from Nova Scotia. And now how they got there, why they were, I mean, they were there obviously because they love music.
Yeah.
But whether they were in just passing through or what the deal, but they showed up at the merch tent about 9 o'clock Saturday night and had been there all day and said Fred Fest had to be the most awesome concert they'd ever been to, because they said, we absolutely know nobody here. Not one living soul.
Wow.
And we visited the whole day away. They said we can talk to anybody, anywhere about anything. So that brings me to the Fred Fest family. And the group of people that we had down there, and we had like 600 people there enjoying the show. And nobody had any issue with anybody else. Everybody talked to everybody. And the big thing is even in like the campground and the venue included, I mean, you'd had a hard time picking up one bag of garbage. I mean, there was a little bit of stuff laying around that the wind had captured, but thank you to everybody for looking after the grounds as good as you did, because it's ready to go again for next year already.
Well, there you go.
And my sponsors in town here, Russ had that big LED screen going, and I had lots of positive feedback. Everybody liked to see their logo flopping around out there about every 5 or 10 minutes. And it was visible because it was 16 feet wide. So, I mean, you could see it from anywhere on the grounds. And Northern Vac and HD Trucking, they jumped in there right at the last minute and saved our bacon. And I really appreciate it from you fellas, too. They supplied vac trucks and a water truck to keep the dust down. And it was a real pleasure to have Callie Shipman. She's Miss Rodeo BC High School Rodeo Queen, and she sang "Oh Canada," and it was a real pleasure to have Callie down there, and everyone enjoyed her. And thank you, Callie.
Awesome, Fred. Well, I mean, you've already mentioned next year already, so you're already planning for kind of the next edition of Fred Fest, either number 3 or number 4, depending on how you want to count it, eh?
Exactly. The first year was just a trial run with the Coolies and McKerney there, but that's when I found out what the sound was like in our venue. It was from Kyle's sound man.
Yeah.
And he convinced me that we should actually try to do something with that venue. So,
you could scale it up and it would work beautifully.
yeah. So we're off and running now. We're like, Fred Fest is going to happen again next year on August 23rd and 4th. And we're already in the planning stages. I can announce, I will.
Yes.
Dub was trying to beat it out of me, but I will announce that Great Northern Railroad is coming to Fred Fest next year, and they're a red hot band out of Grand Prairie. And well, Dave is actually living in Chetwynd, so I mean they're all Peace River country people, and yeah, Great Northern Railroad is definitely coming. We got them booked.
Awesome. Awesome, Fred. Well, I look forward to when tickets
And-
go on sale and finding out more of the
Yeah,
people.
I got
coming
a
by.
few more guys I got to talk
Oh,
to.
absolutely, Fred. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah. And United Rentals, Alberta Gold, and Hometown Environment. I mean, they're the hands-on guys that brought stuff to site to make it all work. And I just can't thank them guys enough. I mean, they were awesome. And then as far as the kids were concerned, I mean, our bouncy castle and our face painting went over really well. I heard lots of positive feedback. And our food trucks, I got positive feedback on our food trucks, so they will be back. I've talked to them both, and we have booked both food trucks for next year.
Nice.
Garda World did a great job of our security out at the gate there, kept the late night transients from showing up. And I got some really positive feedback from sisters, the driving sisters in town here. They were
Yeah.
busy, and lots of people used them. Thank you for using your head and using sisters. And I guess I'm going to say the Cool Hand Luke adventure there on Saturday. We blew it out of the water, and it's over $11,000 we raised for Cool Hand
Wow.
Luke.
That's awesome.
And I still can't talk about Cool Hand Luke, so I got to move on.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to talk about next year already. Oh, I should mention too, there was 4 cell phones and 2 pair of glasses lost at Fred Fest, and they've all found their rightful owners again.
Well, that's good.
So for next year, there's going to be just a couple of things we're going to change a little bit. We have to limit the camping because the camping went strange this year, and we have to know how many campers are coming. So I don't know just exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to do something because we have to know who's coming to camp.
Yeah.
And we're going to cap the number of tickets sold because our venue is virtually 3/4 full this year. I'm going to build a new road around it so the traffic's not flowing through the venue next year. So we won't double our space, but we'll come close. So we'll do a little thinking on that, but we definitely have to put a cap on the tickets because I want to keep the atmosphere that we've got right now where everybody can kind of, you're spread out a little bit. You're not stuffed in there like a bunch of sardines.
Yeah.
And because I think that's when your trouble starts. But other than that, I'd just like to wrap it up with thanks to Moose FM and everybody that supported Fred Fest. And I'm hoping I can get some support next year. And the corporate sponsors, I didn't get any negative feedback from them. I think everybody was happy with what took place at Fred Fest. And we will be there next year with bells on, ready to roll. And we're booking some good music, or we're talking to some really good music. And the announcements will come on down the pipe as necessary. So you'll hear from us in the next couple months.
Excellent, Fred. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
And thank you guys for having me and supporting me. And I'll pop in the new year and have another chat.
Absolutely. And congrats on another great edition of Fred Fest, by the way, I should say.
It was incredible. It was awesome. Above expectations.